Life can change in an instant. If you've been hurt in an accident, suffered from medical negligence, or are facing criminal charges, you don't have to face it alone. At Ryan Miller and Coburn, we're here to listen and fight for you. We're your neighbors, traveling across Montana to stand by your side as your link to justice. Real people, real help, right here in Montana. Ryan Miller and Coburn, your Montana attorneys.
Yeah, excited how the guys started last Saturday. Had a lot of fun, with the new playoff season, and feel like we're an energized group that has a lot of fun playing together. That was on display Saturday, and really excited about an opportunity to go on the road now into an unbelievable environment versus a really good football team, well-coached team that has an abundance of talent. And so it'll be a challenging game. We're excited about it. We're looking forward to the week of preparation. Our players are really looking forward to playing in this type of environment. They embrace it, enjoy it, and we're going to go fight for some more time together. So can't wait to get out there.
All right, we'll open for questions. We'll start with Jay Olson from Medco Sports.
Hey, Dan.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, Montana, you guys have this history now in the playoffs, right? Third year in a row, you'll meet in this round, and so just a little bit on that, and what has become, obviously regionally, there's been a lot of crossover over the years anyway, but just that added piece to it.
Yeah, there's some really strong programs. At our level of football, Montana clearly being one with such a great past and history of success. And so, though I wasn't here these last recent matchups, and a lot of our players weren't here, we talked about it in our team meeting. We went over it. We had some of the guys that played in the last couple of games versus Montana in the playoffs. Obviously, the national championship was a big one, too, to talk about their experiences, which is critical to just educate our new players and staff on it. So I went back as far as 2009, with some of the education on this game. But at the end of the day, I think it's two really good programs that have historically been powerhouses, and those games turn into a lot of fun. And it's a little unique to be able to play them this many times in a row in the playoffs. Didn't happen when I was here as an assistant as frequent.
The environment you mentioned, Washington Grizzlies, as good as it gets in FCS football. I know you guys are no stranger to difficult places to play, but at the same time, this is one that hasn't been solved to this point. So how do you figure that part of it out?
It's going to be awesome. They've come here recently, so, probably didn't get the opportunity to go out there and knock them off. But I was here in 2015, and I think that was a different team. We were in the playoffs. We didn't have, that was over Thanksgiving, and there were some things there that I thought we were a banged up team and maybe lacked some energy and juice, which is totally different than what we have, right now going. And we battled our way back into that game after a slow start. And then in 2009, I think that's, first time you make the playoffs, we're the 16 seed, versus a 1 seed, and really started out fast in that game and had a huge lead, and then, allowed the momentum and some of the things that the crowd probably brought to the table there to impact us. But we were at a different point, as a program there too. There was some learning and growing that needed to happen at that point. Well, now, this is a different ballgame. I mean, we're a national champion type program now. Our players have the utmost confidence in their ability to beat anybody in the country at any level. Whenever we step on the field, there's an expectation and standard to win the game and play at your highest level. And so I just think that our guys' mindset, the evolution of our program over time, and then this team in particular, the connection and cohesion amongst this group to be able to handle anything is a little bit unique, and I think puts us in a situation where we can have success in challenging environments. So our guys are fired up. I mean, they can't wait.
Talking about Chase a little bit and coming back after that long layover, how impressive was it to have him deliver at the level that he did right off the gate, despite the fact that he did have so many weeks off?
It was impressive. We kind of expected that. I thought when guys get injured, there's different ways to handle it. And when you're out, there's everybody goes through a time of being down, and there's an emotional time initially for a guy of his caliber that's a starting quarterback to be injured and potentially put you in a tough spot. But Chase really responded in a positive way, though he missed some of the games that he would have wanted to play in the most, so he was able to battle through those emotions. But then it was his ability to focus every day at practice and then lead our quarterback room and really our offense with some film study and presenting plays and ideas. I just thought he did a great job staying mentally engaged during the time that he was out. And then he was throwing as much as he possibly could and really got connected with the team. So he was out, but I think he found ways to improve, during that. And then, him having a full week of practice last week, Jay, gave me confidence because I saw him do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And, he was as accurate as he had been. I think the rest of his body actually had some time to heal there too, which is he's uniquely fresh in a lot of ways. And he had a smile on his face every day during last week of practice and during the game. So there's even an added appreciation for being able to be out there. So it was impressive. But not many things he does surprise me, definitely.
How did you see, he goes out there and starts playing that well right away. Like, how did you see that affect the overall confidence of your group just to see him go back out there and do it that way at that level?
Yeah, we had a plan to make sure that we started fast throughout the week. We actually, right after stretch, did some periods of practice that were designed to start fast. So from a team standpoint, that was one of our focuses. And then I felt it was critical that we took the ball. So I was happy we won the toss so we could take the football. That was going to be part of our mindset, to be aggressive and start fast and allow him to lead the offense out there for our first plays, outside of the opening kick. And so I think that just infused the entire team and what I think he notices, and as a staff and as really all of our players feel that, he can elevate everybody. I'm not saying that the defense played any harder because Chase was out there, but I think there was definitely a level of excitement that infused the team, which allowed us to start that way. So, yeah, his confidence, we knew a little bit, Coach Eisness, nobody has better experience coaching a game in the snow. And so I think we had a really good plan for that too. Some people think you're just going to run it between the tackles, whereas I think there's some real advantages for the offense when playing in a snow game too. And so we relied on our experience with that too, and weren't afraid to throw the ball.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Jewelry Design Center. We want to be your jeweler for life.
Hey, Tara, what up, E?
What's going on? Man, those are some nice medals.
Yeah, man, these are hard to come by.
Yeah, well, I've got 2 of them.
Well, that's nothing like going to March Madness, though.
We did go to a national championship.
Okay, guys, whatever. Let's just get on the Montana party bus and head over to Press Box for lunch.
Yeah.
Nuanez Now and Skyline Sports, covering Montana athletics and the Big Sky Conference better than anybody. The Montana Party Bus and the Press Box are also proud supporters of Montana athletes.
Hey, cheers to you guys, man. Cheers to Montana. Cheers to chasing more championships.
Hello, my name is Kelly Ayat, quarterback at the University of Montana. In the off-season, it's important to do everything you can to prepare for the season. In high school, that means funding your program. In my experience, Vertical Raise is the ultimate online fundraiser platform. Now broaden your reach of your fundraiser and bring in more money than other platforms. And there are no sneaky or hidden fees like other companies. If you're trying to raise money for your program, reach out to Vertical Raise today.
Drink a beer and support a Grizz athlete. DraftWorks is a longtime favorite of beer enthusiasts across the Treasure State, and DraftWorks has created a sessionable, delicious lager that donates part of every sale to the name, image, and likeness efforts at the University of Montana. Up with Montana Lager is a crisp, effervescent beer that pours pale straw in color and greets you with an inviting malty aroma. And it's crafted with Grizz athletes in mind. If you're headed to the tailgate or stocking up to watch football, give back to the NIL Collective at the University of Montana by drinking Up with Montana Lager, proudly created by DraftWorks Brewing.
Dan, you alluded to the 09 game, the 15 game. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, asking Jimmy about the 09 game, and he talked about the momentum when things started to swing in the other direction and the crowd got involved. I was there in 15 when the same thing sort of happened a little bit in the first half. Just what are you going to share with your players about what that environment is like. What specifics are there about just the challenges of not just that environment and that crowd, but just how to weather the sort of the entire thing?
Yeah, we had a mental performance meeting last night too with Sindra Kampoff, who works with the guys, and she does a great job of this throughout the season. But it is, she talks about how fast, which is essentially playing the next play as its own play. And whether it's a home environment and you feel the momentum from your crowd behind you, you can't let that affect you too. That can become a negative too. You got to get right back into your process. And then when you're on the road, there's definitely moments where you can feel the crowd building and it energizing their team, and you got to get right back into the execution of your job. So the specifics of it are, they've got some strategic methods and ways that they get themselves back mentally after a good play or a poor play, whether the crowd is up or down. And it's literally going to be a process oriented deal throughout the game. And I loved how our players handled that in week 2 at Montana State. We got a punt block. They score a touchdown. You felt the same thing could happen there. You felt them get infused with life. And I think it's the natural human nature, Zim, to think, here we go. Okay, here we go. Well, that's what 95% of people in the stadium feel, but the 5% that is our players that are actually on the field can't feel that way, and our staff. And so they showed me that they could do it then and battle back and actually lose a lead and come back and get it and then win it in overtime. So it's staying in your process. And then I think specifics to just that type of deal is you can't allow explosive plays on defense. You got to play really clean on special teams to not allow momentum here, because that's what happened in 2009 with special teams that got them into it. And then offensively, you have to be really, really efficient. You can break the spirit of people by converting on 3rd and 4th downs and in the red zone.
Could the noise potentially impact? I mean, obviously it can impact it, but you guys have been doing some moving around on the offensive line and stuff that probably requires a lot of communication. How do you have to sort of prepare to be able to do those things, and when the noise is going to be a factor?
Yeah, when you're in these type of environments, the practice and really your system changes. There is no verbal communication by anybody that is really relied upon. You can have a tackle communicate with a guard potentially, but we don't even expect the center to be able to get his communication down to the tackle. You can't rely on those things. And as a coach, you're really being negligent if that's how you practice, and then you get upset with the guys that they can't hear and execute. So, we will utilize different things. Now, Chase is a master of cadence. You see when he plays, there's probably 6 times a game that I think people jump off sides and it doesn't get called when he's playing, because he is constantly changing the cadence. This week will be some more of the clap and the different types of ways to get it. So not even just fully relying on his voice, but again, Coach E's got great experience in these type of environments, and so the moving of the offensive line we will see at practice, because it'll be loud out there how they handle it. But the biggest thing for me is just getting the cadence and allowing the offensive line to play fast and get off the ball.
What stands out about Montana on film, personnel wise, scheme wise? What makes them good?
Their offense is dynamic. I think it starts with the quarterback. He's really efficient, knows he's got full control of the offense, and you've seen him get better at it throughout the season. Their offensive line is athletic and does a good job within their schemes, maintaining their blocks, and then their running back is as good as you'll see. I mean, he's able to keep his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. He reads, your pressures and movements really well. He can put the pedal down and take it the distance, and he can also be really physical. So we're really impressed with him, and you got to stop the run game initially. But it creates challenges with some of the receivers that they have. I played Wortham last year, number 6, when he was at Eastern Washington. And though we had the game in control, we kicked it off to him late in the game, and he returned one for a touchdown. He's a dynamic player, and you never know where he's going to be. He'll be at Wildcat, quarterback, running back, receiver. He's a guy you got to be focused on. And then they've got a freshman wideout that, because of maybe the attention to all the other guys, he can make a lot of plays. So I think their skill stands out and their explosive nature on offense, and that you could tell their coaching staff gets to answers quickly. So you have to be able to try to be one step ahead on defense. And then their defense is really opportunistic. 22 turnovers created. I know we've created a lot on the year when you look at that too, but their defense is aggressive and they'll pressure you, and their defensive ends are really athletic guys. So they rely on havoc defensively, which we need to use to our advantage as well, and not be reactionary to it. It's coming, have a plan. We'll rely on Chase getting the ball out quickly, protecting him well, and then him being able to extend plays and run when there's some creases in there.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Cash One Pawn, Missoula's #1 pawn shop.
You want money? We got money. You need money? We got money. We're cash.
Do yourself a favor and make Cash One Pawn part of your online shopping habits. Cash One Pawn has an awesome online inventory, everything from firearms to power tools to speaker equipment to jewelry. Visit Cash One Pawn today.
Cash One Pawn.
8720 Roller Coaster Road, CashOnePawn.com.
Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any town pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Town Pump. Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
1959. At Street's Grocery in Whitefish, Montana's special spice was born. Alpine Touch. It's the taste you grew up with, well seasoned through the test of time. As the tradition carries from one Montana generation to the next. From its humble beginnings to a trusted brand, here's to the next 60 years. Alpine Touch. Montana's special spice since 1959.
Next question from Andrew Holton.
Hey, Dan. You guys had a lot of success on third down this past weekend. How much do you think that was a product of having Chase back in there?
It was initially a byproduct of running the ball better because we were so much more efficient on first down. We were in a lot of 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, where we felt like we would be in control on third down and keeping an identity to the run game. But Chase makes a big difference there on third. And you see on anything that was must pass, he was on the money and he knew where he was going and he understood the coverages and put the ball in positions for our receivers to make plays. And then they did. I mean, our receivers deserve just as much credit as Chase does for the performance that we had throwing the football Saturday, because those are some incredible catches in the snow. And so those guys' focus was off the charts. But yeah, I think people play a little bit different. You blitz Chase, it's not going to fluster him. You want to drop 8 guys into coverage, it's not going to fluster him. So I think his efficiency and understanding of all the different coverages and things that could happen made a huge difference there. And then he didn't take many sacks just in general. So I just felt like we were always ahead of the chains.
You guys have a couple common opponents with Montana. Do you look at those games more, or because they were, 3 months ago, that doesn't really matter?
We'll look at, I think we've got enough time to get through every game. We'll have some more that we focus on more than others. But I do think the North Dakota game is valuable, sometimes from a personnel standpoint, maybe how they would have attacked it. Now, North Dakota is very different than us on defense. And so, I think offenses attack you a little bit more based off your scheme than how good you are. But there's the Montana State games I think are really valuable. And then going back to the previous couple years when we played them in the national championship and in the playoffs, those games are going to be critical. So some of them carry more weight, Andrew, definitely, but we'll watch all of it.
Just how high is the team's confidence right now, maybe compared to, 2-3 weeks ago?
They're confident. I think when you see the results of having the results you want when you're putting in the hard work naturally, I don't even know if confidence, I put a lot of thought in it. I don't know if confidence is the right word as it is just, they're playing with a level of belief maybe that they know they can get the job done, and they know that they've been working hard, and they never really questioned the process as to how we were doing things. But I kept telling them to just double down on it and double down on it and double down on it. And when you're not getting the results you want, you better make sure that their belief in the messaging to them is correct. And I'm so proud of how they just continue to believe and fight and push. And now that they've come out on the right end of a couple big games, I think their belief is really strong. Their belief belief in one another is strong. And I also believe that there's more players with confidence. To have Jack Smith playing so well, he's a lot more confident than he was in the first part of the season. Graham's a lot more confident. Grayton Ginn and Coleman Kuntz didn't even play for us till recently. Well, his confidence is through the roof. The offensive line's playing great, so their confidence. It's just a lot of new players that are out there now, which happens throughout the course of a season. And now we have a deeper level of belief because we play a lot more guys.